I know. You can't wait for the next roast. And believe me, I read all of the comments. I make sure to correct all my mistakes, then improve every video based on your completely objective insights.
So
With that being said, this is just a pile of frozen shit. I actually liked Frostpunk. You know it's a good game when every decision is wrong, and you feel anxious every time the game is not paused. Then again, there's always those hyperactive, attention-deprived StarCraft players that just love this fucking anxiety machine. Your basic understanding of this Snowpiercer adaptation is relatively simple. The Earth froze over, a few people from Britain survived, but now you gotta deal with extreme cold. Cold so bad that child labor and mechanic prosthetics are actually gonna give you a positive street cred.
That's a 3-year-old pretending it's a newborn. Take it to the mines.
Now you see why the title doesn't mention roasting, because in some cultures this could be more triggering. To begin with, the game proudly boasts a deeper, more complex city building and survival experience. The deeper experience is also the less mentally intensive, as the game now features districts instead. Rather than managing individual structures like in the first Frostpunk, now you get these nifty extraction districts and food districts. Because who cares about precision when you can just lump things into bigger, messier piles? But wait, you can't build them wherever you want. No, you must frost break through the icy landscape first. And of course this costs manpower, so you better not have all your available workforce, working just so everything is barely keeping itself together.
Can you hear us? Captain!
Do you hear us?
And if you thought passing laws in the first game was bad, get ready for Frostpunk 2's parliamentary system.
They're eating the dogs.
Factions. The lifeblood of every game too busy to create actual plotline. And isn't that just what every post-apocalyptic city needs? Bureaucratic gridlock.
Sure! Take a vote! This is America! Fuck it!
Now, every time you want to pass a law, you must deal with squabbling factions who may or may not agree with your proposals. Imagine Facebook Marketplace, but you pay with money as well as mental sanity.
I am human.
Leaving you with a political circus where no one's happy. And the best strategy is, of course, bribery. And yes, the original script had a political joke in there, but I scrapped it because I respect my audience. I'm retarded. There's still plenty of survival mechanics to enjoy though, such as mining coal and fracking oil. Don't question this in your mind. It's just gonna go down harder. You'll be thrilled to know that instead of fixing the moral quandaries from the first game, Frostpunk 2 doubles down. Throwing even more ethical dilemmas your way, the game insists on making you choose between progress and human lives like some twisted version of a corporate team building exercise. Actually, this might have been the spreadsheet Ubisoft was using last year.
In today's challenging market, and with gamers expecting extraordinary experiences, delivering solid quality is no longer enough.
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
While we are talking about factions, let's touch on the faction system. That adds layers of political tension. It's more like trying to babysit a room full of toddlers who all want different toys. Again, I show a great amount of restraint by not putting a second political joke here. One faction loves your brutal efficiency, another hates your guts, and all the while they're threatening to overthrow you if you don't grant them more influence. This mechanic is designed to keep you on edge. Remember those StarCraft players? This is them now.
I don't care if I die as long as you do.
The first time around we also had exploration. This was sort of the end game for players that just mastered torturing a population of 1,200 sleep-deprived frozen coal miners.
Black people want slavery as much as white people want.
Well, buckle up because this game has it too. Yeah, it's just another logistical headache as you now have to manage not one, but two cities, ensuring that neither collapses under the weight of your incompetence. Speaking of fun, if you enjoyed being constantly distracted from the main story objectives by annoying micromanagement tasks like food shortages and riots, good news, Frostpunk 2 has doubled down on that too. You'll often find yourself pulled away from bigger goals like securing alternate fuel sources to deal with the ever-rising crime rates caused by unruly teenagers. Yes, that's right. In the middle of the apocalypse, your city is plagued by delinquent youth. Apparently sending them to mines before they reach puberty didn't stop them from reaching puberty. If you're looking for emotional depth, well, why? The game's attempt at heart-wrenching decision-making is marred by the fact that it's basically just stat manipulation in disguise, written by Robert Kirkman.
Yes, I'm a genius.
There are no real consequences, just more numbers to manage. The game just isn't as engaging as it wants to be. despite its best efforts to dazzle you with frost-covered steampunk aesthetic. Ultimately, it feels like you're trudging through a cold, empty shell of what could have been a gripping survival experience. It's clear that 11-bit wanted to start a new approach to their games. You can see this in The Altars, which is somewhat of a spiritual successor to This War of Mine. The core idea and mechanic is somewhat the same, but there's a lot of new and different key elements that does give the impression of a different IP. Well, with Frostpunk 2, it sort of feels like a completely new approach for maybe 2 hours, which is coincidentally exact right amount for the Steam refund policy to expire.